Hello and welcome to Oldie But a Goodie. This is just a normal episode of Oldie But a Goodie, the show where we look at various films that came out during this week, back in the year 1984. We choose one of the films that came out, we watch it, we do full synopsis, spoiler reviews. So watch out if you want to watch anything we're talking about today. My name is Sandro. As always, I'm joined by Zach for this very normal episode.
Hello, yes, it is I for this normal episode with no one else but Sandro, my friend here.
And I'm Sandy, and I'm...
Whoa!
And I'm very angry.
What do you mean you're angry? This is just a normal episode where we're talking about perfectly fine movies.
Yes. So welcome, everyone, to the point where we complain about a movie for 2 hours. It's going to be a good time.
I can't believe I let you get me involved in this.
Yeah.
Can't believe I volunteered.
I actually liked one of these movies. I'm just going to say that. I liked one of them a lot, so...
Which one?
I really hope it's the one I'm thinking of right now, and not the other one.
We're talking about two films this year. Just this year. We're spending all year talking about two films.
It's over.
Oh,
wait, no. You mean we have to talk about this for a whole year?
Yeah, no, an entire year we're spending talking about these two films.
Okay, even that would make me hate the one film that I liked.
That would be like a very, very special hell.
Yeah.
No, this week we're talking about two films. One film did come out this week back in 1984. The other film was an option when Sandy was on last, and we thought, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we did it on episode 69? Turns out, not fun at all.
It's not nice.
I watched it on a big TV, and I shouldn't have.
Nice. Yeah.
Right in the living room for the family to see.
No, by myself, but...
Okay.
But, you know...
Oh, okay.
Sort of bad in a different way, watching that
I
by
feel like
yourself.
our housemates would have enjoyed it.
They walked past once or twice, and they just kind of made, like, noises.
Hey, I made that face while watching the whole film.
Yeah.
We're talking about Blame It on Rio. Now, the premise of that movie when it was first an option was two best friends go to Rio and then continue to fall in love with each other's daughters. That's not actually what the film is.
Wow.
No, I was surprised. I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure who put that synopsis thing in our options, but it was wrong. However, everyone does sort of cheat on everyone, so that is a part of the film, I
Maybe
guess.
even, like, the person writing the IMDb blurb couldn't even, like, bring themselves to finish the film.
Didn't finish the film. Just like, this'll do. I've watched the first, 10 minutes. I'm done.
And the other film we're talking about is Love Letters, which we'll talk about in a second. If you do want to jump to our Blame It on Rio review, the time thing will be in the episode description. But first, Sandy, you got to plug a podcast that you're on.
Oh, I super am. Thank you so much for bringing it up. I keep going for my, inbuilt mic in my earphones, which is not the one that I'm using. I'm using... a different desk mic, but I keep holding it up to my mouth like I'm on a phone call. Yeah, not this week, but last week, our podcast Illiterature finally dropped. Me and Samantha De Los Angeles have started a classic literature comedy podcast where I explain a work of classic literature to Samantha, who's never read it before, but who is a very, very funny woman. With many, many insights that really, really bring the dusty old pages to life. So if you're interested in comedy or classic literature or neither, you should definitely check it out. That's my plug.
Awesome. And by the time this episode's out, there should be 3 episodes and a pilot available if you check it out. So fun times. Check that out. Link in the description.
Yeah. Thanks, heaps.
Also, I mentioned it last week, but it was at the end, so chances are a lot of people stop listening by that point. But my other podcast, Nerd Out, which I do with Rob Lloyd and Jen Spears, is back. We're back over the power of the internet. It's more called Nerd In at this point because we're all inside just talking about things that we watch and things that we read. It's a lot of fun. So that's up there every Friday. And then also there's a spin-off show coming out on Wednesday on that as well. So there's 2 shows a week. Check it out if you want.
Busy bee.
That other show is co-hosted and edited by my friend Reese, who Zach would know because we all went to a water park 6 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
It was great.
Which one?
Is it the Geelong Adventure Park?
Oh my god. I used to know like every single person who acted as a pirate at that park. Because I did like musical theatre in Geelong and every single person had a summer job at Adventure, whatever.
Wow, that's
and
great.
They were all pirates.
That's pretty good. That's amazing.
You're 2 degrees away from a childhood celebrity.
Wow, yeah,
But you
there we
didn't know
go.
Zach, you'll be on that show at some point.
Yes, I will be. Although I have to check out Sandy's show because it has a funny woman on it. And that's way better than our usual shows.
Yep.
Luckily, we're changing it this week.
Try to bring in that precious 50%
Yep.
of the population.
No, just a funny person in general. Oh. We really need that in the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's talk about love letters up top. First of all, there were no other options for this week, so we were basically forced to watch it. It did come out April the 27th, though, in 1984, saying that it did play at festivals all throughout 1983, had a few limited preview screenings in January and February as well.
It seems like a festival film, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just kind of slow, vague, full of ennui.
It's true.
Just that one sort of like glockenspiel music. What is it? Vibraphone kind of like boom.
Yeah, you're
It
right.
makes you feel like Jaws is about to come and eat her, even though she's standing in the middle of a recording studio.
Yeah.
A lot of royalty-free classical music just put in.
Oh yeah, I'm like
Absolutely.
Chopin. Like that's not the most basic bitch thing in the classical oeuvre.
It's written and directed by Amy Holden Jones, who is not only the first female director that we've covered this year, maybe the first female director we've ever done on the podcast, which is not good.
Wow, that's pretty sad. Yeah.
I think there was one. I don't know. I can't remember. As my grandmother would say, I've had a sleep since then, so I can't remember.
That's cute. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
We're finally doing a female director in the 80s. That's good. It's a second movie after a horror film in 82 called The Slumber Party Massacre, which is apparently really good. Might check it out.
Sounds way more interesting than this one.
That's fair enough. She's also credited as a writer on the first ever Beethoven movie. You know,
Oh, hey.
Beethoven the dog? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
She wrote that.
nice.
Didn't he play soccer or something?
Yeah, probably. That wouldn't surprise me.
He plays some sort of
Or
sport.
was that Air Bud? There's like more than one golden retriever that like plays sports.
Yes. Very specifically golden retrievers, and very specifically it's not against the rules for a dog to be sighted in.
For the cast, Jamie Lee Curtis is the star. She plays Anna Winter, who is a radio host. At this point, she had already done 2 Halloween films, was a rising star in the horror scene. This was her first proper drama role. She did like 3 or 4 films in 1994, so good on her. We'll be seeing a lot of her later on in the year in upcoming options.
I kept waiting for her to get murdered, actually.
Yeah.
It is filmed like a horror film, isn't it?
It is a little bit. And I was like, oh, I don't know if it's just because it's Jamie Lee Curtis or if it's like this Trent Reznor style music sort of.
She does have that I'm about to get murder look on her face half
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. There is that moment where there is a bit of a darker, not twist, but like a darker moment in the last half hour.
When are we spoiling it? Can I?
Yeah, we're spoiling it. Go ahead.
Okay, when her dad like goes for
yeah.
it, like
Yeah.
Freaks out.
I immediately, as soon as that part happened, and this is pretty standard for me when I'm watching a film, but as soon as that part happened, I'm like, wait, what? And then I went to Wikipedia to just like get confirmation of what I just saw.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
Like, and was there like subtext of like other kinds of abuse that I failed to pick up on? But apparently not. Apparently it was just he's just an alcoholic that kinda lashes out.
He may have abused her. That's like there's a bit of that, but they
Yeah.
don't really go into
I think
it.
he was just a bad dad because he was drunk half the time.
Yeah.
Also, waving a gun at your daughter's probably a bad dad move. Just off the top of my head.
That scene weirdly affected me because it was like shot like you were the kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is
It's very intense.
It was really well done. And I thought that he was a really good choice for that character, just because he was kind of small and short and frail and not like what you would expect. You know, he wasn't this big, scary, you know, threatening guy. So it was kind of, I guess, showing how like it's not necessarily the obvious person who you'd think would sort of be.
Yeah.
It's not like a big, bald, tattooed guy who's being scary.
Yeah.
It's just like a average Joe.
Hang on, are you describing every single angry dad that we've done this year so far, Zach?
Is that?
Yep. Almost, yeah.
He's pretty much an unknown actor. I couldn't find much about him, so...
He was good.
Yeah, he's really good in this. What did you think of James Keach, who plays Oliver Andrews, the photographer guy that she has an affair with? He's okay.
I just thought there was like nothing. It was just dead behind his eyes. It was just like an empty void.
Yeah.
That's the person who I expected to murder the other person.
Yeah, right? When she sits down to have the photos taken of her, it's literally like... There's like 5 serial killers out there who like lured women that way. Like, you look like a model. I want to take photos of you. And then you're like, okay.
No, he gave me super creepy vibes and was kind of the reason I felt like she was going to get murdered. Because he shows up at her workplace to stare at her for like half an hour. And then, invites her out and then's all creepy and is like, oh, I'm older than you, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, this haunted marimba plays in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
At least you're not 17 and my friend's daughter. At least that's not a thing.
Oh my god.
Yep. Again, we'll get into that. It's grosser than you think.
Great.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be pretty gross, but I thought it would at least be like cute and fun.
Yeah.
It kind of is in places, but in other places it made me write "you" in my notes.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I think we all have that opinion about James Keach is he's not really an actor. He was in a bunch of National Lampoon movies, but has just directed a lot of stuff for television, including something like 25 episodes of Dr. Quinn Medical Woman. He's directed like heaps of that show. So, yeah.
Well, there you go.
I'll quickly go through the synopsis before we do the cost and like rate it and everything. The general idea of this movie is Jamie Lee Curtis's mother, she dies, and while going through all of her belongings, Curtis finds a box full of love letters between her and another married individual called George or Joseph or something, whatever his name is. She kind of gets obsessed with this idea of...
I think it's a romanticization of, like, the affair.
I think it is. Yeah.
And romance and cheating. And...
Ooh, affairs are romantic. And maybe it's partly because she hates her dad, which, like, fair enough.
That as well. So, as soon as this Oliver character comes to her work, she, gets in a casual-ish relationship with him, but then she wants more of a commitment. She wants him to hate his wife, which he doesn't. And so, she does what any normal person would do. She goes over to his house, creeps on the family, smashes his car, they fight.
Any rational human being would do.
Any rational thing. The wife sees, she gets angry.
I don't understand that bit.
Jamie Lee Curtis is like, you still love your wife, we're done. And then she burns all the letters. That's pretty much what the film is.
I really like the way they did the letter burning on the hot plate. I'm like, ooh.
It was good. Yeah.
The drama.
Yeah.
Like a fireplace has been done.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of annoyed with the main character of this whole film. I was like, everyone's telling you this is a bad idea. Your friend's telling you. The guy you're going out with is saying you need to break it up.
I think if it wasn't Jamie Lee Curtis, I would agree.
Yeah.
But because it was her,
I thought she was a great actor. No, I just hated her character.
That's fair enough.
Not her herself. I thought she was great in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That whole bit where she's like, oh, I don't want to go to San Francisco, even though it would be great for my career because...
Oh, yeah, that was it. That was the bit that made me really mad.
Maybe I can marry this already married dude, yeah.
Screw the guy. Not literally. Go to the stupid radio
Maybe stop
station.
screwing the guy.
Yeah, stop screwing the guy.
Maybe start screwing your future.
Yeah, no, stop screwing your future. No.
No, make sweet love to your future.
Yeah.
I do really like the scene, though, where the co-worker who ends up getting that job comes back and is like, thank you for that. Like, that was a cool scene.
It was interesting.
Because it kind of feels like it's trying to say something. This whole film feels like it's trying to say something, but it doesn't really commit. It's not that it's too subtle. It's just that it falls into a lot of the genre trappings of, well, we've got to have a lot of nudity in there, don't we? And stuff like that. And it kind of takes away from the meaningful aspects of the film, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although saying that, Zach, the sex scenes in this movie didn't have any music, very similar to Reckless. Was it as awkward as Reckless? What do you think?
It was on par, almost.
Okay.
I actually didn't notice, but I think maybe I was hyper aware of the creepy marimba under the rest of the movie, that it was actually like a relief to not hear that.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad, honestly.
I didn't mind it. I liked the I like the atmosphere of this movie as well.
I'm bad to review this movie because I hate romances. And it has
fair.
all the tropes of why I hate romances like this.
I feel like this is an anti-romance film, though.
Well, yeah, is it? Is it, though? That's the problem for me. Because she ditches her career and, like, freaks out over this. I mean, yeah, at the end, they break up and it's very sad. So, you know, it's, yeah.
Well, it deconstructs romance, right?
It's just not my type of movie, you know?
Yeah, it's fair enough.
I was going to say I loved the opening with the burning letter. I thought that was very poetic and sort of timeless for a 1984 film, I thought. But then, of course, after that, we get the most 80s fire star wipe transition sort of ever.
Yeah. Oh, the font. What did you think of the font?
It was real special. I felt like I was in, like, Drive starring Ryan Gosling.
That's what I was thinking as well, yeah.
And there's palm trees. Are we in California? Was that LA or something? And the only other note I had was from the scene with the dad, the first time he kind of snaps at her, and it was just the, "I'm all right," he yelled, unalrightly.
Yes. Yeah. I'm all right.
So that was my takeaway.
Cool. Before we rate it, very quickly, there's no reviews for this movie. It's got an audience score of 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, which isn't very high.
Wow,
but it's also got 3.5 out of 4 stars from Roger Ebert, so it seems like the critics that did see it liked it, audiences saw it didn't like it. It was made for $600,000.
Okay, where did that all go?
Yeah.
It was all the vinyl records.
On that piano.
On the piano.
On the piano he bought her.
What do you think it made, though?
20 mil?
$4.
$4. We had a movie, didn't we have a movie that was like that made like 30 or something?
Yeah, I think it was Crackers or something.
Yikes.
Yeah. It made $5 million, so...
Oh, 5. Yeah.
That's pretty good for a small film. Let's wrap up our review of Love Letters and rate it. Starting with Zach. Is it an oldie or a goodie?
I'm not sure. It's not my type of movie, but I think the movie was alright. Like, it was a good movie. I don't know if I'd suggest it to anyone, though. There's probably better romances out there, so I'm going to have to rate it an oldie. Yeah.
How about you, Sandy?
Yeah, I'd probably agree with Zach on this one. I didn't really find anything particularly...
Yeah, nothing really crazy about it. Although I did like the ending somewhat.
It had good moments, but overall, like, I get the critics love it, audience hates it. It's generally the way it is with super boring movies like this one.
Wow. Shots fired at stupid, boring movies.
So that's 2 oldies from you two. I'm going to give it a goodie because I am a critic. No.
Whoa, that's fair. You know what? That's fair.
I just liked the vibe this film set. It kind of set up an atmosphere at the start of the scene, just let you sit in it, whether it's like a...
God, what a film critic.
Uncomfortable atmosphere or a sexy atmosphere. No, that wasn't really ever the case. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it's not an Iceman, but I would say it's better than like Romancing the Stone, in my opinion. So that is Love Letters. Let's get into the main star of the show. Blame
Jesus
it
Christ.
on Rio. His information about who's in it and why.
Nice.
It was released February 17th. It's directed by Stanley Donen. Now, if you're like, hey, that name sounds familiar, that's because he directed Singing in the Rain. He directed Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. He directed Funny Face. He directed On the Town. He directed Charade and a bunch of other classic movies from like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s that a lot of people, including myself, and I'm sure you guys are a big fan of.
Do you know what we had to watch? We had to watch this film. This is his worst rated film, by the way. On Rotten Tomatoes, this is his worst rated film by quite a bit.
I don't know. Is it the pedophilia, Zach? What do you think?
It might be. Okay. but I'm not sure, you know?
I think that's probably an element of it. It's also his last movie, and he didn't write it, so maybe it was just a retirement thing?
You either die the director of Singing in the Rain, or you live long enough to make a movie about fucking teenagers.
Yeah. It might have been the bad acting. That might have also been part of it.
Yeah. Also, the directing is awful. He directs this like a stage play.
It is a bit, isn't it? It's like a Doors farce in some ways, in some parts.
Especially the guy who plays Victor. Like, all of his lines were delivered like he was projecting to an audience. It's weird. It's very strange. I was trying to find out why he made this movie, but I couldn't, so I'm guessing it's probably just like a money thing.
Yeah.
I think the clue would probably be in, like, his criminal record.
Wow.
So yeah, he directed it, but who does it star? It stars Michael Caine as Matthew Hollis. If you're, like, wondering, but it's 84, maybe this was before he was a big thing. Nope, he was an Oscar-nominated actor at this point.
But in the actual fuck. Also, while we're on Michael Caine.
Oh, boy.
Who'd have thought the answer to the question, what was Michael Caine doing in 1984, was, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
But I mean, they couldn't have picked a hotter dude. Like a young Christopher Plummer type? Like an actual, like, hot daddy?
I don't know.
You would so your criticism right now is the dad wasn't hot.
Well, I just my willing suspension of disbelief is just, it's not satisfying. He looks like my nan. Like, the glasses, the finger wave, looking at her. Like,
He was fine. I thought, he has that accent,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Michael Caine.
Zach and I were talking about this earlier, just like being like, why did the cast join up for this film, especially for Michael Caine? It's because the director did Singing in the Rain, right? That's the reason.
Absolutely. And people were like, wow, this is, like, it made really good films. Let's jump on his films.
That poor girl was like, this is going to be my big break.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We will get to her.
Oh, no, there's a story.
Before we get to her, though, Demi Moore is also in this as Nikki Hollis. She's from, like, A Few Good Men, Ghost, obviously. If These Walls Could Talk, she got a Golden Globe nomination off that. She's not really in this film much.
No, she's got, like, 15 minutes max.
She plays Michael Caine's daughter, Nikki.
It gives me some solace to think that while all of this bullshit's happening, she's just having a lovely time in Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny.
Like, at least we have that, right?
Yeah, we do see it, because she, like, paraglides at one point and stuff, and that looks right.
And there's that boy, Diego or some shit.
We've also got Joseph Bolenya as Victor Lyons, which is Michael Caine's best friend. He's from Cops and Robbers, also a film called Transylvania 65000, which is apparently really fun. He's usually a good actor, but in this, I thought he was awful.
He was weird, because he did seem the hotter of the two dads, I would have said.
Yeah.
So I was really waiting for him to go banging the other one's daughter and, have that.
I know, I kept waiting for that.
But it never happened. On one hand, I'm disappointed. On the other hand, good.
But also somehow, and I don't know if this is just the magic of Michael Caine, but I feel like it would have been less gross. Somehow.
If they were both.
Ugh. Anyway. Just his face.
You're just really not a fan of Michael Caine, huh?
I don't need to see it that close up.
There's a point as well where Jennifer is like writing him a letter and she says, "I love your small little British teeth," or something like that.
That's in the diary. I remember that.
Diary.
I was like, yeah.
Anyway, speaking about Jennifer, she's played by Michelle Johnson. Woo. This is her first ever movie. She hasn't done much before this, and she was 17.
Oh no!
She was 17 when she shot this.
No.
Great.
She had to get permission from a judge to appear topless throughout this movie.
Wow.
And that's kind of gross.
Well, that judge did not do his job, because
No.
this should not have happened.
Yeah, I think it's a case of it's the director of Singing in the Rain.
Yeah, no, it's like, finally, I get into a great director of a films. This is the guy who did Singing in the Rain. This is my breakout career. I'm sure going to choose this over any other option. Am I right, Sandra?
Poor baby.
It's got 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep. As we might have mentioned. If not, it's got 8%. And it's the worst rated film of his career.
Of his career. Probably Michael Caine's as well, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Has he done anything worse? Like,
I don't think so.
I find it difficult to believe that he has.
It's got an audience score of 39%, which feels too high. 5.8 on IMDb, also too high. 22% on Metacritic, though. Pretty negative on everything else. A lot of critics at the time were like, well, it's only February, but this is the worst film of the year. So, good.
Good.
And no idea how much this cost. What do you think it cost to make this?
In legal fees?
Yep.
Because this movie is a crime. This movie should be in jail.
Wow. I think it's 20 years is what I...
This film cost 20 years.
Yes. Hard time.
Or 0 if you're a powerful Catholic, am I right?
Woof.
Hey!
Was that too edgy?
Spicy.
Whoa.
Spicy
I'm
content.
sorry.
Yeah.
It made about 18.5 million, which is way too much. Let's go through the plot.
Oh boy.
At the start, we've got a funky jam.
Gird your loins, lads.
I hated the music for all of this.
Blame it on Rio. I will not. I will not. It's not Rio's fault.
What a funky jam of banging each other's daughters is what I wrote down. I can't believe they made a song for this.
It was made for the.
Yeah,
film.
because they literally go, blame it on Rio, or whatever in it, like the title of the movie. So they absolutely made this garbage for this garbage.
That means that they were expecting the soundtrack to chart, which means they were expecting this to be a thing.
Oh, yeah, because they got the director of Singing in the Rain in here.
Can you imagine what the culture would be if they'd been right?
Oh, God.
If this had been a successful movie,
Yeah.
I don't want to live in that world.
Maybe don't. Maybe don't imagine that.
Yeah, I'm trying not to.
I tell you what, people would still like Woody Allen movies, probably. Hey.
Whoa.
Oh boy. My comment on the opening credits was, I love the geometric 80s look. I was hoping they would zoom out to reveal that it was a windbreaker.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been great. That would have been really good.
There, I just came up with a better idea than the entire movie.
Wow.
So the framing device of this movie is Michael Caine and Michelle Johnson being interviewed?
Yeah.
Or monologuing at the camera?
It's like a...
My comment on that was, are these the police tapes?
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Is it... Yeah, the police tapes.
This is the interrogation.
Yeah.
And he's like... and that's why it sounds like he's making excuses.
Yes. That's funny. I thought it was just like one of those TV shows where they're kicking people off the island. And they're like, you banged my daughter. I'm kicking you off the island. I don't know. It was weird.
I don't know.
But they narrate, and everyone knows that narration is good.
The opening joke of this movie is Michael Caine talking about how he was sent to an island for work, and he sent his his girlfriend at the time a bunch of postcards that he's had one word on them, and they were meant to say "Found a Virgin Paradise, it's yours, Matthew," but they sent it in the wrong order. And so what she received was, found a virgin, it's paradise, yours Matthew. And that's the joke. That's the opening joke of the movie.
So first off, you're relying on the postal service and spending extra money to send multiple letters for no reason. Third off, you didn't use numbers to so that you could tell which order they went in. Third off, why would you put... I've said third off twice now. Why would you... put virgin as just one letter? Why would you use that word? And that's a disaster waiting to happen. 20th off. Why?
Just avoid the word virgin altogether. It's probably the safest way to go about your life.
Found a paradise. Yours, done. You didn't need to put virgin paradise. He just cut out that word, and that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
I suppose it really jumps you into this film, isn't it?
It does. Immediately, I was like, yeah, I need a drink.
Yeah.
Straight from the get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they describe the city as sensuous.
Yeah, I was just like, nah, I can't. I can't do this.
I wish I had more alcohol for this film.
It's a rough opening. We also see Michael Caine and his friend Victor at work, and it feels like all the dialogue is overdubbed or something. I'm not sure.
There's so much dubbing.
I felt like most of the movie's dialogue was overdubbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when they're at the beach at some point, they're like very clearly dubbed over because you can see them talking.
Yeah, at certain points their mouths don't actually match what they're saying in the film.
It's very weird. Yeah. I have a few quotes from this film.
Go for it.
All of which I think are Michael Caine quotes.
He says some pretty wild stuff.
He says they're talking about how he's got a divorce and all these lawyers are sending him demands from his wife. And so Michael Caine's like, you never know, maybe the divorce will save the marriage.
It does.
So it turns out it does.
It does.
At the very end, which really ruins that quote for me.
They put foreshadowing in this movie.
Yeah, god damn it.
I love the weird little black cubicle he's in the like the middle of the office. Makes him look like the company's pet gerbil.
Well, maybe he is. You never know.
So yeah, Victor's getting a divorce. There's a twist with his character. Should we just say what it is now?
Yeah, go for it.
He's sleeping with Michael Caine's wife.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
And Michael Caine somehow thinks that this gives him, this puts him on a moral, an equal moral playing field.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't have the high ground anymore. I'm like, he absolutely still does, Michael Caine.
Which is worse? Banging someone's wife or banging someone's daughter? Well.
When he says kids are survivors, I'm like, this doesn't bode well.
Oh, no. Oh, I didn't even pick that. Oh, God. Yeah, that's before he starts banging it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So they're all going on a holiday to Rio, except for Michael Caine's wife. She's going somewhere else.
Can I just say, I love the little scene where she's like, nothing is wrong, read your book.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah.
That was good.
You would have to do something for it to be something you did.
Forgot about that.
And he's like, I don't know, what, fuck a teenager?
Yeah.
Well, that's what he thinks.
Will that save our marriage? Spoilers, it does.
Well, yes.
Jesus.
It does. It does save our marriage. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
That is the message of the film.
Yeah. If your marriage is failing, go bang your friend's teenage daughter.
She calls him Uncle Matthew.
Oh, there's a line as well where she's like, I've never called you Matthew before. You're not uncle anymore. You're just plain Matthew. I was like, this is also like, Jimmy. No, stop it. Stop it. Movie. This movie deserves in the naughty corner.
It really, yeah, but no, it would probably enjoy that too much.
I think the naughty corner is too kinky at this point.
Just send it to prison.
Anyway, the acting's really bad. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, yeah. Because Victor's daughter comes like flying in on the plane and it's so like,
It's really awkward.
Also, she's got braces on to signify that she's a teenager.
Yeah, a retainer. I'm like, do not sleep with this child.
Please do not sleep.
It's just printed on her retainer.
Yeah. Then we have a plane scene where they're flying to Rio and there's an advertisement for Rio with dances and stuff.
My comment was, a way to make a movie look less like dog shit. Cut an entire sequence from another better movie into the middle of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way of doing it.
And then you see, of course, the famous statue of Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
Overlooking Rio. And I was like, please, Jesus, intervene.
Yeah, we could use some of that in Rio.
But no, they arrive at their hotel. There's a line of dialogue where I think it's Jennifer, she walks past a lizard and is like, ew, I hate lizards. And Michael Caine's response is, yeah, lizards also hate lizards.
Yeah.
What is this?
Oh, yeah. That was a weird line.
Just some witty dad repartee.
Is he...
Is the lizard a metaphor for the elder male sexuality?
I hope not.
Ooh. I did kind of laugh, though, at the moment where Victor is going through all of, the divorce papers, and he gets so angry, he slams it down and just yells, lawyers! I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, his struggle with lawyers is pretty great.
Yeah. But we do go to the bedroom that the two daughters are sleeping in.
Oh, God.
Oh, in exactly the same, thigh-revealing pose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jennifer is like, your father is so sweet, Michael Caine's daughter. I used to have a crush on him. And then Michael Caine's daughter says, me too, which is weird.
Yeah, no, wait.
Today on Things No Human Woman Would Ever Say.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to mean the opposite, Dad, but it doesn't clarify. So that's good. That's great. And at this point, I'm confused which daughter's which at this point.
Oh, yeah, me
and
too.
I'm very uncomfortable.
every now and then we should check in and see where our uncomfortable meter is. Where were you sitting at this point in the film, Sandy?
Oh, just pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, very is what I'd put this.
A solid 9 out of 10.
I didn't know whose daughter was which, because then she goes and spoons one of them.
That was her dad, yeah.
That was her dad. Okay. Better, worse? I don't know. I don't know what's happening at this. I don't know.
And then the Senora housekeeper
Yeah, the best character of this film.
enters the picture.
She's pretty good.
And the bit where he's like, "Good morning, Senora," or not, like, she senses his, like, fucked aura.
Yeah. There's a scene where she walks in on the two doing their thing and just stares at them with a very disappointed look. And I was like, this is the best character in the film.
Yeah,
I was kind of expecting there to be a lot of eye rolling. And there wasn't
Yeah.
as much as I thought there would be, but there was a lot of that kind of energy.
More shock and horror, which is what I had for most of this film.
Okay, so they go to a beach. Every woman is braless. And Michael Caine is like, oh, nudity. I don't like it. Sometimes when I get undressed, I almost wish that I could leave the room.
Same.
Well, you'll be real comfortable with it real soon, apparently.
Also, weird dad chest hair alert,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
which kind of gives it a little extra flavour.
Yeah, there was a extra flavor.
That scene with the two guitarists that walk across that sort of walk across the beach.
Yeah, no, I wrote down the music's really weird, and then next scene, the two guys come out, and I'm like, oh, that's why.
I was like, do you ever just walk across the beach playing acoustic guitar with your homie?
Absolutely, in Rio.
Because they were like into it.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, they're just jamming out.
Also, all the topless women had bikini tans.
They did.
So,
It was a requirement to be an extra in this film.
well, it's just like this isn't their natural state if they have bikini tans. Someone's told them to take off their bikinis.
Yeah, that's true. Ah, I didn't pick up on that.
I was thinking that as well. I was like, did they just go to a beach where this happens and they're all extras that they paid because they're there, or did they specifically cast people for this? And it seems like they cast people for it. So great. Anyway, the two daughters also are like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I hate everything about this scene.
Yep.
And he's getting all uncomfortable. Yeah, well, how does the audience feel? Did you think about that, Michael Caine? God.
Very awkward.
Feelings.
It's more awkward now knowing that she's 17 as well.
Yeah, no.
Oh my god, she is. God, they're probably not even finished developing yet. Sorry, did I make you guys cringe?
Yeah, no. Yeah, thank you.
Well, you made me watch this movie, so...
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no.
I
Should have just gone with the first movie. Good lord. Could have been like, boy, I hate romances. Great. Done. Movie's done. It's a baddie. Now we have to do this. And you know what? This one hasn't really improved my view on romances for some reason.
one of the worst films ever.
I've never, seen a movie that, actively leered.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I wrote, put those adolescent tits back where they came from, or so help me. That was my takeaway.
Yeah.
There was a wedding at some point. Is this where the wedding comes in?
Oh yeah, they just joined some rando wedding.
There's a wedding happening, so they just gate crash.
The daughters gate crash a wedding. Victor goes off to get laid, and Michael Caine's like, "Oh, guess I'll go to the wedding as well."
I had a quote from when they were in the restaurant with the classy singer, and the guy's like, "Oh, the girls keep looking at me," and then Michael Caine's like, "Maybe they're lawyers."
That's quite funny, actually.
Which I thought was good. Yeah, the lawyer part of this film was good. The rest of it wasn't.
Yeah, there was another bit where it was tell Victor to play with his settlement papers.
Yeah.
Which was the best burn of the movie.
Yeah. The bits where they weren't focusing on banging their daughters were pretty good, I felt. And then it takes one random wedding to start daughter snogging, apparently.
Yep. So what happens? Everyone runs into the sea.
Yes.
And so Michael Caine and Jennifer are like, let's join as well.
And then they start snogging.
He's pretty against it.
Not enough.
But then he's not. I hate this.
Maybe he's protesting a little bit too much, don't you think?
It's so obvious that he doesn't want to...
As an actor, he just wants to be elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because also she's 17 and he's...
In real life. And he's genuinely an old man.
He's quite an old man at this point.
And we fade to black.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Wait, but not before we get the shot of his face and the boob in his face.
Right, yeah.
There's that.
A Batman is ruined forever, I guess.
Yeah.
I also kind of laughed at the moment, like, the morning after, where he wakes up on the beach and his two friends come over and he just has to, like,
Yes.
cover his
Yeah,
crotch
yeah,
in
yeah.
sand. I thought that was kind of
Oh
funny.
yeah, Peter and Elaine are here to bring some class to this fucking movie.
I wish they were there the whole movie to stop them banging. That would have
Yeah.
been great.
Oh, there's that line where they're like, "Where's your wife? Where's Karen?" And he's like, "Karen's dead." Well, she's not really dead. Not in the sense that Karen is not alive, but Karen's dead.
Yes.
That's me. I'm Karen. I'm dead, but not really.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the other dad is banging some lady with a cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought it would be so refreshing to see two consenting adults.
Yes. She talks about how she's banging a dude every day after the divorce.
And he's like, "Yeah, I want to do that as well."
Yeah, good
Yep.
for her.
He's a team player, guys.
I thought that was, look, of all the things in the movie, that's probably just
Yeah.
the nicest, frankly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other movie might not be so into it. This movie, a nice break.
Yeah.
Yep. So, they go back to the villa, I guess, and Jennifer has a small glass bottle full of sand that they quote-unquote made love on, and that, yep, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
That's something that you'd want to keep.
Yep.
Yep.
This was the point where I wrote down, how is this movie made by the guy that made Singing in the Rain?
Yeah.
That was
no.
when I just wrote this in all caps. I was very just angry and...
I don't know what this line is in reference to, but I wrote down, I am the distressed white peacock. I am laying eggs of discomfort.
I think Michael Caine says that at some point because he's super, for some reason, he's feeling rather awkward hanging around his friend when the daughter that he just banged is also around.
Yeah. Well, the white peacock obviously has some sort of altercation at this
Yeah.
point in the movie.
Yeah.
Also, do they never say the word sex?
No, they only
It's
say,
always
like...
like making love or, when we...
Yeah.
And they like don't finish the sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were trying to get that kid market in. They were like, we don't want this movie to be rated R. We're gonna do...
Oh, God. And then the worst conversation in the film happens soon.
Is that where they're at the table?
No, it's when they're together and he talks about when he first
yeah,
kissed her.
Oh, no, don't. No, don't bring it up. No.
Wait, but before then, the dads make a salad, and she and Demi Moore's decided that she's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Do you remember? And she's like, I don't eat anything with parents, and he says, we have artichokes. They're orphans.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
And I just enjoyed that.
And then the boyfriend grabs some meat off the table and starts eating it, and he's like, "Well, he's a meat eater."
Diego, yeah.
Diego, yeah.
The movie illustrates my point that no living human woman with a beating heart would choose Michael Caine in a world where Diegos exist.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't mention that Demi Moore saw them on the beach.
Oh yeah, poor thing.
She's aware of the whole thing.
Yeah, and when her friend's like, do you hate me? And she's like, no, I hate him. And I was like, yeah, you know what?
It's fair enough.
Finally, a normal human reaction.
I've got a quote here, and I'm not sure what it's in reference to, but it's, you got milk all over your whiskers, pussycat.
That's what... Because oh god, it's because his friend, Michael Caine's friend, is like, hey, you banged someone last night. Tell me all about it. And he's like, I don't want to tell you because it was your daughter. Whoa. And that's the line he uses to say that he banged someone.
Just bro talk.
Yep. It's better than the talk about the baby talk.
Alright, let's do the bait. I wrote down the whole...
Really? Oh god.
Just because I just wanted to portray how awful this movie is.
Yeah, this
This is the crowning glory.
I think
of
I
it.
took a break at this moment from this movie.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Just a prayer break. Just a quick.
Yeah, quick
Yeah.
prayer break. I'm not religious, but like, good lord.
This film made you.
Yeah. I needed to call in some Jesus at this point.
This film needs a bit more Jesus in it.
Yeah.
So Victor goes off to do his thing, and Michael Caine and Jennifer are left alone. And
Yep.
so they're in a hammock, and Michael Caine just brings this up in what I guess is meant to be a ha ha ha, like, we're remembering the old times. It's almost meant to be...
It's meant to be endearing.
It's meant to be endearing. It's meant to be...
Ugh.
I almost want to use the word romantic, but I definitely don't. And the line here is, I remember the first time I kissed you. And you're like, on the beach the other night. Nope, it was at your christening.
Ugh.
The pastor was powdering your bottom, and I said, I want to kiss it. So I did. And then she responds with, how dare you drive a tiny baby wild with desire?
That's the actual
Oh,
line.
that's like, yeah, ugh.
I miss Kevin Bacon and his skeleton face.
Yeah, you want to go back to that movie? Yeah.
Can we?
Yeah.
It's a simpler time.
Simpler times.
Yeah, the simpler times. I liked it when they drove the tractors at each other.
Yeah.
And they were playing chicken, and then the guy got stuck, and he couldn't get out, so he had to play chicken at the last minute, you know.
Yeah. It's just... I think I gagged at a point in this.
Yeah, no, that talk was disgusting. Why did it make the cut of the film? I don't know.
Don't know.
She goes to some native god to try and help them bang. I don't know.
I forgot about this.
She's like...
Yeah, I didn't mention this at all because it's so irrelevant.
I mentioned it because it's random.
Just a little bit of Orientalism for you.
Yeah, they threw it in there. Because she's like, hey,
course they
God,
did.
help me bang my friend's dad.
We have a part where Victor wakes up or he's drinking some coffee. And he's like, why does coffee always taste better when someone else makes it? And I just thought maybe you're just bad at making coffee, Victor.
No, that's what I thought as well. I thought maybe you're just really bad at making coffee, dude. Maybe it's because you suck, and every time other people make it, they just make a normal coffee, whereas you just mess it up somehow. Anyway.
Yeah.
She tells Dad that she's been banging some older dude.
Yep.
And he's like, what? We made a pact that you were going to tell me everything for some reason.
Which is weird, but in the context of the movie, kind of slides under the radar.
Yeah. Oh, I brought out my calculator at this point because she mentions he's 43, 25 years older than me. And I was like, cool. I'm going to see how old she is.
They went there. How much?
They went there.
Was it 17?
Well, it's 18.
It's 18.
But
Alright, she's legal, but the actress isn't, which is
the
somehow
actress is 17.
Yeah, no, that's...
bad in an unusual way for Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because usually the character is not legal, but the actress is.
Exactly. Which has been pretty much every film we've done this year.
The 80s was a special time, wasn't it, gentlemen?
It is a special.
So, the dad gets Michael Caine to go on a date with his daughter to find
Try
out
and find out,
who
yes.
the person is that's banging, and it's just like,
Meanwhile, she's taken like a saucy photo of herself to give to him.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then they have random Asian racism because they have a creepy old Asian that tries to get a picture of the picture.
Hollywood still hasn't forgiven the Japanese for Pearl Harbor.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I'd say
That's my
that's controversial, but we've so far had a guy banging an underage person. So, you know what? That's probably fine.
Oh, there's this whole discussion where Michael Caine's like, I'm gonna die before you're my age. And she's like, I'm cool with that.
Can you hurry it up, Michael? I wrote down here, and I can't remember what the context was, but can I not just leave the movie and join these street musicians for the next 40 minutes?
Oh, yeah, because they're walking around and there's some great street musicians. Like, there's some funky guys. There's some young guys that are, like, jamming out.
Yeah.
They find a diary. Like, he finds...
Yeah, Victor finds her diary.
And, of course, Michael Caine's like, no, don't look in the diary. That's an invasion of privacy. And then he reads through the diary and he gets, like, a vague description of the old man. And
Yeah, the diary's like, he's got blue eyes. And Michael Caine immediately puts on sunglasses.
Yeah, these weird, like, child red-brimmed, just the tiniest sunglasses you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I swear I had a pair of sunglasses that looked like that, except they were Pokemon branded.
Nice.
Is this where they go to the club?
Yeah, because they talk to other daughter who hasn't been banging dads, and she's like...
They frame this, like, lounge singer.
Yeah, she's like, yo, yeah, she's been banging loads of dudes. She banged that singer guy. And the other guy.
Dancer, yeah.
She lays a false trail for them to follow.
They go to this party club and Michael Caine has to get up on stage and dance, and somehow he looks more awkward on stage dancing than he has in any other scene in the film.
He also dances like my nan, as well as looking like my nan.
It's weird. He seems old before he even gets old, which is impressive. Which really helps this film, I feel. Spread that age gap even wider than it needed to be.
It's truly a miracle that he, was able to get any roles, was able to make any sort of respectable name for himself after this movie.
Well, the problem is he made one beforehand, which is probably what he coached on, and then they just sort of ignore this film ever happening. That's what I would do.
Yeah, what would you say? Would you say the blame is on Michael Caine or the blame is on the writers, directors, and studio?
Sander, I think we all know that the blame is on Rio.
Yeah, the blame's on Rio.
Wow. Boo. No.
Got it.
Oh,
nice.
God. Anyway, he beats up the singer dude because he starts singing to his daughter, and then Michael Caine breaks him up by pointing out the fact that he has brown eyes.
Oh, and then they go out of the club, and long story short, Michael Caine is just like, it's me, and as soon as he tells Victor that it's him, lightning flashes, and they do this twice. Every time he says, yes, it's me, lightning just flashes for no reason.
Oh my God.
My reaction to this was great. Lightning, I wish it would strike me and kill me now.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so melodramatic. It was so dumb.
It just turned into a soap opera.
Yeah, it really did.
And then she tries to overdose on birth control pills, which is impossible.
Yeah. Well, she would get sick, but she wouldn't die. Yeah.
Well, she wouldn't even get that sick. Worst case scenario, look, I'm sorry if this is TMI, but worst case scenario, she would just have a bit of vaginal bleeding.
Yeah.
Her dad's reaction is, oh, I'm glad she's alive, but tell me, does she have a beard now?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a hormonal thing, but also because she's a child and she doesn't know how things work.
Yep.
Because she's a child.
Anyway, Michael Caine's wife, she comes to Rio because the daughter's like, you should probably come over and just sort this out.
Karen's here. Karen's here to make things worse.
So we find out that the wife's been banging his friend?
Victor, yeah.
Well, and he's banging the daughter, and it's all a big banging mess.
And he's like, Victor, how dare you be mad at me for banging your underage daughter when you've been banging my not underage wife?
And Victor's response is, well, at least your wife isn't anybody's daughter.
Well,
it's an actual quote.
Yes.
Which is not really the point, is it?
It's not the point.
I guess they didn't want to use the word underage for some reason.
Yeah, the same reason they didn't want to use the word sex.
Yeah. Then she's fine, so they come back, and then Michael Caine has to use what's his friend's bed because no one else will let him sleep in their bed.
And suddenly we're in like a 40s screwball buddy comedy.
Yes. Yeah. They start fighting each other.
It's just like physical comedy for no reason.
Well, there's your Singing in the Rain.
Yeah. Because then the maid comes in as they're fighting, and of course it looks like they're banging.
Yeah, I know. There was a lot of like sort of gay baiting.
Yeah, there's a lot
in this film, as if that's like more salacious than what's actually happening.
I know, right? Ugh.
Why did the maid go in? Is she deaf? Did they say she's deaf at some point?
She speaks in sign language, so...
Yeah, maybe. Right, yeah, so she's deaf. That's why she walks in. Okay, I'll just clarifying, because
That's way more like internal logic than I would expect from this film.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they say she's deaf. So she walks in and sees them. They are talk about careful with the balls or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
anyway.
you hit him in the balls, and he's like, oh, my balls, or whatever.
Yeah. And he's like, be careful with my balls, as she walks in.
And she crosses herself.
Yeah, she does the cross, and she leaves.
For all the good it'll do her, because Jesus seems to be nowhere.
And then they all just go their separate ways, but they're all friends now.
Yep.
So they all hug.
And everyone gets back together.
Yep.
And Karen just lets him have this, like, emotional heart-to-heart with the teenager that he's been stupping.
Yeah, that was...
Like, she wouldn't be calling the police.
Because she met some dude at the hospital. And then she's like, yeah, I'm over you now, Michael Caine. Yep, we get a monologue to end it. 1 year later, Victor gets divorced from his wife, and then they marry again. And Michael Caine and his wife are still going strong.
Ain't love crazy. And then we get a little extra boob at the end as a treat.
We do.
In like a floating
Yeah.
little box next to the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely rating this one a goodie. Gotta love that Michael Caine. Oof.
Look, we've got some pretty questionable movies. But none of them have been gross. And this is
Sleazy.
This is like the intentions behind making this are disgusting. The fact that this was a major studio movie, MGM financed this. It's the director of Singing in the Rain. Michael Caine's in it. Like, it's a major movie, and it's not good. It's awful. If I had a copy of it, I would burn it.
I would rate this a way too oldie.
Yeah, so we can rate it an oldie, but we can rate it worse than an oldie.
Oh, really?
The Worse Than an Oldie award was originally called the Vincent DeCeasement Award, named after a movie called Intersection, which this is worse than, I think.
I was going to be like, why don't you call it the Go to Jail Award?
Yeah.
Do not pass go.
I do kind of want to give it the Go to Jail Award, actually.
Oh, yeah, Go to Jail Award. Absolutely.
Should we just do that? Just give it the Go to Jail Award, which is like worse than a cracked...
Yep.
Whatever we rated Crackers, which was the one that got worse than an oldie.
When a movie's so bad, it's criminal.
Yeah. Literally.
Go to jail.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've learned a valuable lesson here. When there is an alternate choice that sounds like a very funny episode that we can riff on, just don't do it. Just don't. But that's episode 69.
Thanks so much for having me back.
Yeah, wow.
Also lose my number.
Wow. That's fair. No, that's very fair.
So usually we pitch a sequel, but I don't want to.
Sequel is they all go to jail.
Yeah.
It opens with them in jail and finishes with them in jail. And that's the movie.
It's just 2 seconds long.
Yeah.
It's just the judge going, guilty, I sentence you to 25 years.
Clunk. In jail.
and then Blame It on Rio plays him out.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's like a sad acoustic version of Blame It on Rio. But so just moving on.
Yeah. Time for raving reviews.
Oh, here we go.
Excellent.
It's the part of the show where I get reviews from Rotten Tomatoes from the audience, see what they had to say. There was a bit of criticism for this film.
No.
Wow. Really?
I can't imagine why.
Why?
For a few bits of this film, but some people liked the jokes. You guys are going to battle it out. Feel what score did these guys rate this? Out of 5. Out of 5.
All right, Sander, I'm the rating champ, so...
You did beat Sandro last time.
Put on, yeah.
Absolutely destroyed. Harrison says, this movie was pretty dumb. Which I think we can all agree.
Is that the whole review?
That's the whole review.
And 1 star.
You can rate it 1 star, okay.
I'm going to go 2.
2 stars. Oh, you're both very close. It's 1.5. Right in the middle there. Right in the middle. Double O, which said, I kind of thought Michael Johnson was hot.
Hang on. What?
I kind of thought Michael Johnson was hot.
I think they mean Michael Caine.
Michael Johnson is an athlete.
Yep.
Also wasn't born when this film came out.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep, I am aware.
I think 3 stars.
I'm going to go 2.5.
It was 3 stars. Well done. I'm impressed. You clearly know how hot Michael Johnson is.
I know how many stars to give a hottie.
Then we have Porsche, who says, apparently it's okay to sleep with your buddy's daughter. Whoa.
1 star. Because it sounds sarcastic.
Yeah.
And it should be sarcastic.
I'm going to go 1.5.
1.5? Okay, it's 0.5. 0.5. Yeah, it's not okay. Cresswell said, my name is Michael Caine.
1.
1?
It's a 1 for me.
It's 2 stars.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you guys could have clearly picked up on that one. I mean, I thought that was obvious, but, you know. Oh, well. This one should be more obvious. I think you guys should get this. Private says, I think I was a bit young a bit too young when I saw this one. Thanks,
Oh, no.
Cinemax, for enlightening me.
Cinemax.
Yes, Cinemax. Apparently, you could have seen this in Cinemax at some point.
That means that this film's been shown on TV.
Yep.
Which just makes it worse, in my opinion.
Yep.
I'm going to give 2.5.
I'm going to go 1.5.
1.5. Oh, Sandra gets this one with 1.5.
First time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to rub it in.
Oh, no. Let's not talk about first times.
No.
Rodney says, was a very good twist in this movie. Would be good to see a remake, as this is very old nowadays.
3 stars.
Yep.
3.5.
No, it's 3 out of 5. It's 3 out of
It's
5.
three,
Well
so Sandy
done.
gets it.
Yes.
2 for Sandy. Yeah. And then we have the weather says,
The weather?
Okay.
poor old Michael Caine getting more bang for his buck, so to speak.
Bang for his buck. No.
Solitary Rio scenes in a young Demi adds up to fun in the sun. Oh, God, it's spelt so poorly.
3.5.
5 out of 5.
It's 2 out of 5.
Good.
Yep. 2 out of 5. Yep. And finally, I think Richard really sums this one up for everyone, which is, yes, I think I actually saw this.
0.5.
Yeah, I was going to go 0.5 as well.
Yep, it's 0.5.
Yeah.
Well done. There you go. So I think Sandy wins this one once again.
Yep.
And I think we're all sick of talking about this film.
Yep, let's end it. This has been
Yay!
Oldie Buddy Goodie.
When you two and I next meet, we're just going to be like sitting around in a circle, smoking like a roach, tiny little butt of cigarette, like Vietnam veterans.
Yeah. Yes.
Just 1,000-yard stares.
Yeah.
And people would be like, what's wrong? And we'll be like, you weren't there, man.
You won't understand.
When we were like, let's do this movie for episode 69, we've been planning this for like 2 months at this point. Like, all of us have been like, this is happening for the last 2 months. It sounded like a fun thing to do. And no.
It may have been a mistake.
It was, we shouldn't have done this.
Well, I was going in with a more positive look, but talking about it didn't help. Only made it worse for some reason. And I can't imagine why.
So, yeah, look, I'm sorry, Sandy.
Thank you. Thanks for your apology. I forgive you.
Wow.
If you want to follow Sandy's show, there are links in the episode description. Check it out.
Illiterature, as in literature.
Check that out. I'm sure it won't
Thank
be as
you.
awkward as everything we just did.
Yeah, well, we haven't done Lolita yet. So.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh,
Ugh.
are you going to do that at one point?
Probably.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks for the plug.
No worries. Check out
Yeah.
Nerd Out if you want. It's fun. We talk about things that aren't gross.
Yep.
You can like the show on Facebook if you want, but if you unlike it based off this episode, I don't blame you. We're also on YouTube, emails, everything in the description. Zach, you're picking next week's episode.
Yeah, what's next week's episode? Hopefully something not so garbage.
You've got 4 choices, but there's also a twist that I'll get to
Oh.
after you pick.
Oh.
I'm happy about the twist, actually. I think it'll be fun. So, next week, your choices are Alphabet City, one of the films. It's about a young gangster named Johnny who is given control over his own neighborhood by the mob.
Cool.
You've also got The Bounty. Mel Gibson and Anthony Hopkins star in a movie. It's based off the mutiny on the Bounty. It's out on it's out on the seas, and there's a mutiny.
Ah, okay.
I like that one.
Yeah.
It is a good story.
That sounds fun.
Then you got 16 Candles. It's a quote-unquote classic, in that I don't think it holds up. But anyway, it's a quote-unquote classic.
Because it's by John Hughes.
Yeah, coming-of-age film about Samantha. She's about to turn 16, and like her parents start to ignore her, and classic coming-of-age stuff. And then your fourth and final option is Breakin', also known as Breakdancin'. It's a comedy about breakdancing.
Oh my god, you guys have to
Ooh.
do that one because you're both dancers.
Yeah. You think that one? I think that one too. That sounds quite interesting, Sandra. The breakdancing comedy one. I think we should go with that one,
You
Sandra.
want to do some breakdancing comedy? It sounds like it'd be quite nice and innocent compared to this.
Yeah. I definitely want to do that one. I'm glad that we're going to be doing that one next week and not something else entirely, because that would be good.
Okay, so here's the thing, Zach.
Wait a minute.
Oh no.
Here's the thing.
I sense something suspicious going on.
Oh no. What do you mean?
A few episodes ago, someone asked when we're going to be doing Three Ninjas 4. And
Oh, no.
we said on the 1 year anniversary of our Three Ninjas episode from last year.
Oh, no.
That's next week.
Oh, no! No!
Oh no.
Why? Why did it have to be so soon after this?
So
I
next,
wanted to do something good.
You guys are suckers for punishment, huh?
Yeah, no, apparently. Hopefully it'll be better than this week. At least it'll be entertaining,
I
that's for
think
sure.
so. Hulk Hogan's in it.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping for.
Alright, so next week we're doing Breakin', also known as breakdancing, depending what country you're in, and also Three Ninjas 4. High Noon on Mega Mountain is the title of that one. We usually end with our favourite quote of the movie that we just watched.
I'm gonna go with "They're looking at me," and Michael Caine's like, "Maybe they're lawyers."
We have artichokes. They're orphans.
That's a good one.
My favourite
Yeah,
quote
yeah.
is, ew.
yeah. That's the audience quote.
Yeah, that's all of us.
Ew, ew, ew.
Yikes.
I
Yeah.
honestly feel deflated,
Yeah.
is the word that comes to mind.
He's like something was taken from you.
Yeah.
Your innocence.
Yikes.